The girl accidentally wears it in her own sadistic novel. What do you think of the male protagonist in his works? It was even more blocked than he imagined. Just now, Yi Xiaoyu, who wants to take the life of the male protagonist, failed again. He was even muted by the male protagonist and couldn't speak. But if the hero doesn't die, he can't go back to modern times. So he had a plan, and by way of writing, let the maids around you worship for yourself, and promised to let him go home when it was done. Mary Chin Lang. Because of the current timeline, it's crucial for Leafy Fish. In the original book, the male protagonist Zhang Likong will meet in 7 months, led into the Wei army to force the palace, and the sick emperor. I was pissed off at that time. The Supreme Emperor always thought, if the new emperor wants to take back power from him, we'll definitely keep an eye on Wu Weihu, who holds the army. But Wu Weihu is far away in Linzhou, and the male protagonist will leave the warehouse. Just let the army of Wu Weihu just stand still. So he will leave the cabin, and the person he really hooks up with, it is to march into 5 great generals Liang Chengbi. He is also the consort of the eldest princess. He is the only pro-son-in-law of the Supreme Emperor. It's a pity. This consort Liang has a dark handle, because the eldest princess has been unable to give birth to children. Consort Liang secretly raised the outer room and was pregnant, and Zhang Likong caught him, threatening and luring him into income. Therefore, Yi Xiaoyu must seize this opportunity, and the male lead. 2 days later, Liang Chengdi, who was protecting the fetus for foreign affairs, just arrived at the doctor's house. I bumped into Zhang Likong, who had been waiting for a long time. Guilty, he broke out in a cold sweat and was extremely uncomfortable. Zhang Likong calmly invited him to drink a glass of wine. I heard that my sister is a little strict, caused the concubine to be childless for many years. This glass of wine is for the concubine. Congratulations to Mrs. Liang. A good family has a queen. Unexpectedly, Liang Chengbi suddenly rushed forward and brandished a knife to stab the descending capsule. If King Su is sick, he should recuperate at home. Going out is tiring, but it is easy to die. It turned out that a quarter of an hour ago, Yi Xiaoyu secretly met Liang Chengbi in front of the male protagonist. If he couldn't give birth, he asked his maid to pass the word. As long as he can kill that person in Dr. Zhao's house. Then what about his golden house? Not only will he not be pursued by the Supreme Emperor, can you still make that? The fetus attached to the middle school entered the palace openly. That's why Liang Chengbi will suddenly attack the Advent cabin. King Su is really brave. If this happens to the Supreme Emperor, is that what matters to Liang? Or is King Asahi trying to threaten? Is it important to force the advance of 5 generals? At this moment, the hand that blocked the arrow has been dyed red with blood. Cold eyes like demons, staring at each other. When Liang Chengbi launched another attack, but he was easily taken down by the pair warehouse. Click. Eternal fragmentation. Before Consort Liang came here, I went to see a woman. At the same time, Yi Xiaoyu, who had calculated the time, also came here, and praying in my heart that this story will end. How to open the door? I saw the waiting knight smile slightly. Princess, please. Yi Xiaoyu was dumbfounded when he walked into the lobby. At this time, Liang Consort, who is outstanding in martial arts, he was being beaten by the male protagonist, screaming, Princess, why do you know all about my criminal purposes? I'm getting really curious about you. Yi Xiaoyu was surprised, and suddenly I can talk again. The man threw down the wrist of the good time coin. Then he bandaged his palms as if nothing had happened. I just put some throat medicine for the princess. Forget the calming effect. I can't speak for 2 or 3 days. After all, someone who loves to joke like the princess. If you are really dumb, you will be very angry. What's more, if I don't force you, how can you show your cards? The princess turned out to be even more powerful than I imagined. Even I know I'm looking for Liang Consort. Tell me about it. Where did you eavesdrop it from? Yi Xiaoyu turned away guiltily. Of course I guessed. Praetorian Guard defends the imperial city. You want to seize power. Isn't it reasonable to coerce Consort Liang into using it for you? We'll leave the warehouse with a cold sound. The princess is really joking. He was the concubine of 5 great generals and princesses. How can you be easily coerced by me? However, compared to him, I'd rather know. What exactly does the princess want to do? I guess the princess only wanted to kill me. I don't have it. The small leaf fish that was poked only felt cold on the back. The man suddenly laughed eerily. Hehe. If I don't even notice that others want to kill me, I'm afraid I don't know how many times I've died. I guess you are not the emperor's person. At least not his eyeliner. As for the pilgrimage play? If a pilgrimage play is like yours. Yeah, that sucks. Leafy fish spit fragrance from the inner heart. Who do you despise? You don't hate me, and we have no grudge, so I'm really puzzled. Why on earth do you want to kill me? Even the 5 generals dared to take advantage of it. You say I should admire your courage. Or should I pity you for being helpless? The man leaned over again and stared at Yi Xiaoyu. I'm also curious about one thing. If Consort Liang can't kill me, what should you do? Yi Xiaoyu suddenly laughed out loud. I didn't expect him to kill you at all. Man raises eyebrows, looking at each other with a face of Hu Yi. I know Liang Chengbi can't kill you at all. Others may not know the skills of the prince. In other words, I am the only one who knows best in this world. Those idle people can't move the prince at all. But it didn't matter, because I just need to let the Supreme Emperor know. Your Highness, you are playing against the Praetorian Guard. That alone is enough. Subsequently, he smiled again and looked at the good time pen that was caught by the side. Since your little lady is going to enter the princess sooner or later, I'll do it for you first. Tell the eldest princess the happy event. Presumably, the eldest princess will take good care of this little lady and the baby in his belly. I found that I was instantly numb by the good time coin of the routine. It's really a mess that Pihu didn't make it. Actually, I know, Your Highness, you've been keeping an eye on me. But you still need my dowry maids. Tell the Queen Mother from time to time. Give you a reverse cover. So of course you don't dare to keep an eye on them too closely. After all, don't let those eyeliners of the Supreme Emperor find out you are watching. Otherwise, it will only make the Supreme Emperor's suspicion even heavier. So I asked those maids to help me, the little king, to entrust the happy event of Consort Liang to the eldest princess. After all, I have to convince Consort Liang before the prince. Before conspiracy. Make things worse. In this way, the prince wants to seize power. Even if the Supreme Emperor doesn't want to know, is it difficult? This moment, the eldest princess who received the message. He is leading a large number of guards to search for Liangkan coins throughout the process. And the current capital has been turned upside down. It's only been a while. The eldest princess men have arrived nearby. Presumably this room will be searched soon. Yi Xiaoyu, who was waiting to watch the play, pretended to feel sorry. It seems that it will be difficult for the prince to get away this time. How did you expect to leave the warehouse and suddenly return to the house at night? And let him take the only 30 or so dead in the mansion. Bring it to the Danyang gate of the imperial city within a quarter of an hour. Leafy fish thief smiling. Does the prince want to bring these more than 30 people? Let's go to the palace to rebel. So brave. What Li Kang ignored. He turned around to Liang Chengbi, who wanted to escape over the wall. If Consort Liang wants to live, please enter buying non-stop now. Assemble people. Attack the king of Qin in 2 minutes. This is a great opportunity for Consort Liang to make a contribution. Will Liang Chengbi force the king of Qin with a face? Naturally, whoever wins will be invited. Then he grabbed Yi Xiaoyu and had a princess come with me. Say it, then take Yi Xiaoyu all the way to the imperial city. And the man's crazy behavior. Let Yi Xiaoyu sigh. Even if you scare Liang Chengbi, let him be one step behind and bring his troops into the palace. But you can't attack with more than 30 people. Rebellion, there are more than 50 guards at Danyang Gate alone. Even the Supreme Emperor's side, surrounded by more than 100 experts. You may not even see his face. The princess is really amazing. The comfort of the emperor. Even I've been prying around for more than half a year. Did you just find out the number of people? Yi Xiaoyu, who found himself leaking his mouth, was embarrassed in place. But what is this guy trying to do? When arriving near the palace gate, the descent capsule pushed him off the horse without hesitation. Now run into the palace gate crying immediately. I'll hit you and kill you while running. You're going to the palace to tell the Queen Mother for help. Yi Xiaoyu, who fell in pain, was so angry that he couldn't. Why would I do that? With a gloomy face, Li King raised the whip. Certainly. I wouldn't mind tying you up and hanging you from a horse. Drag it in from the ground. Yi Xiaoyu had no choice but to follow his request, crying and running to the city gate for help. And let the guards open the city gates. Said he wanted to see the Queen Mother. At the same time, Yiming has also arrived here with his men. And they just have to wait here. When the Danyang gate is fully opened, Yi Xiaoyu, whose whole body is highly tight, looks at the right time. He quickly rushed through the gate while shouting that there was a rebellion. And let the guards quickly close the palace gate. But it's too late, because Zhang Likong has already brought people to kill him directly. The leaf fish is incredibly in place. Unexpectedly, the blood of the novel NPC also has a temperature. The next second, he was picked up by Rakura. He kept struggling to let it go. Unexpectedly, Prince Feng Pi's eyes turned red. The princess is deliberately trying to frame me. Now isn't that what you want to see? Why are you afraid? Haha, but the scarier thing is yet to come.